So, what is ego death? Ego death is getting rid of all the things you think you are and realizing what you actually are, which is so much more than what you think, or less, depending on who you are. And that's okay. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove. Here, ego death is getting rid of all of your wants, but your gift for doing so is the present. Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the best basketball players to ever go down in history, I'm sure. But he explained it very well. Let me try to get this right. So, when you go into, in his case, basketball, but any situation, thinking of how good you are, how much you deserve, or how good you should be because of who you are and how you should be treated just because of uh, all that you have done or shown, whatever, and you're expecting something from that. Okay, that's your ego. Maybe you go and just like knowing like I can do this, I can do anything. They're gonna have to bow to me. In his sense is like because he's so dominant, like I can be dominant anytime. Uh, that's your pride. That's thinking into the future, right? Things that you're expecting that you should do. Past is ego. But the present is humility. Being in the moment is humility. Being aware of all that is, that's humility. That's the presence. That's something you can't, that's somewhere you can't be if your ego is in it because you're either in the past, thinking of all you deserve and how things should be, or thinking, or in the future, thinking what you're going to do. You know, heard once before, oftentimes, I believe Shad Guru said this, oftentimes we view the future as just the past with makeup on it. It's like same exact thing, just a little bit better, hopefully, than our past was. But if you can be in this moment, all there is now. All there is now. So your ego or your trauma, all these things that have existed before and after, don't exist. I said that when somebody asked me the time the other day. He said, "What time is it?" And this is how rough it is having conversations with me because I literally responded, "The time is always now." Your ego has no place in the now because it's all even, it's all free. So once again, ego is a death to all your wants. And your gift is just the present. It's a damn good gift. I like it. So that is, in a way, what your ego is. I'm sure we're going to talk plenty about that throughout this podcast. But in the lightest and a quick sense, that's what your ego is. Now, how to get rid of it. How do we get rid of the ego? Let go. Let go of yourself. Let go of all that you think you are, all your wants. Let go. And in return, if you let go of yourself, you receive everything. Because it's no longer all about you. So, do you want yourself and this idea you hold up of yourself, which isn't that great? Look, I'm from the South, and so I had this whole idea of just being a good married quick, get a marriage, support the wife, have kids, and all that. And I messed that up big time, but thank goodness because I had to kill my ego after that. I had to die. All who I think and all who I wanted, all who I wanted to portray myself as had to die. And then I could start living. That's why I want my ego to stay dead. I don't want to have to keep dying or As the Bible says, die every day. I, I'm tired of dying, yo. I'd rather just stay dead so I can truly live. This is why ego and killing it is the most important thing. Because, again, when you let go of yourself, again, this is how you let go of ego. When you let go of yourself, you are able to accept all things. You're able to see other people as you. Picture all those enemies you have right now, all those people, because I still have them too. Not enemies. No enemies. I love all of you so much. Whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever, even my ex. Okay, all of them. I'm sorry. I'm not. I just love you. I love you all. But when you see people you disagree with that might make the day harder, life harder, relationships harder, when you see them as yourself, when you let go of yourself, like, how could you treat me, right? Like the Giannis Antetokounmpo said, I've done all of this. How dare you treat me? Or I am this. You don't treat me with it. When you let go of that. And sure, don't try to disrespect me, all right? I'm not saying you can stand up for yourself and whatever you want to, okay? I do it out of love, but I do it out of love for all things. My love for you, my love for myself, my love for all things that should receive love, which is all things, because all things are love. Why? If all things are love, why should they not receive love? Okay, another podcast. We're back. How would you treat those tough people if you saw them as yourself, saw them as one, if you let go of yourself enough to just see them as the big picture, as a part of your perfect experience? And the ego will always stop or hinder you from doing that. Your ego will stop you from accepting and loving yourself because you think you should be somewhere else. One of the most important things you could ever do is kill your ego. Ever. Because all you have is your perception. All you have more than anything, more than this mic, more than this home, your home, your car, your family, more than the only thing you actually have, the most tangible thing you possess is your perception. And how detrimental could it be if your ego is in the way of your perception every time? When you're here to receive love, goodness, abundance, and that's what you're here to really accept. But then your ego comes, you should have more love. You should have more abundance. How dare? And it can say that, and you can think that I know I already have it though, because the time is always now. So why not feel that? That's manifesting another podcast episode. If all you have is your perception, that you don't want it to have to go through the filter of your ego. Because I'll put it like this. Okay. We have your perception. We're going to use this notebook as perception. Okay? And then love. We're going to use this succulent as love. It's fake succulents. I call them succulents. I have a black thumb. Don't be racist. Just not a green thumb. Okay? So, this is love. All love and goodness. This is your perception. And this is your ego. Your perception has your ego, right? You can't... Do you see what I'm... Sorry, that's probably so loud and annoying. Okay? You just want your perception and it just to be love. And then you just write and think about love and consume and then soon hopefully you become love when you can let go of all who you are. But perception, love in all things, God, because God is love, love is God. Okay? And then here's your ego in the way. This is going to block a true thing. Love can still get in. You can still see plenty of love. You can bring your ego sideways. Your ego might go. It's going to block love from truly coming in. You just want your perception and love, and for it to become one and the same. And that was our lesson on ego today. Ego death. All right. That's all I got. I really want to see how that looked and how weird that looked. But yo, it's only the second episode. And I ain't got no ego. I have nothing to prove. All I have is you, all things. All I have is love. You do too. Love you all.